I'll be teaching you guys how to make simple analysis with trend line, support and resistance, and other basic things. So this is GBP/USD. One thing you really want to know is, number one, follow the trend. If price is doing something like this, this is what we call the uptrend. If price is doing something like this is what we call the uptrend. Yeah, why is it called the uptrend? Because the market is simply going up. The market is going up. It is as simple as that. So now what you want to be looking for here is how to draw your trend line properly and how to place your maybe support and resistance properly. So how to draw your trend lines properly is connecting at least 2 or 3 touches, minimum of 2 touches. This is our first touch here. This is our first touch. I'll just make it kind of thick. This is our first touch. This is our second touch here, and so I'll just use 2 touches actually. So this is our first touch and this is our second touch here. So what you want to be looking for is, whenever price comes back to the body of this trend line, you want to be looking for a buying opportunity from there. You want to be looking for a buying opportunity. This is where you enter from, and your take profit will be just be something like this. Will be somewhere around that place. So for the support and resistance is, it can be a zone and it can also be a level. Yeah, it can be a zone and it can also be a level. So let's say if price is coming from from below this place and it banging, like hitting this particular level or zone from below, it is called a resistance. Like price is resisting it from going above. But if the price is coming from up here like this and sitting, or maybe you're standing just anyhow, like it is doing some wonders from the top of that level, it is called support. Now how do you use your support together with your trend line? So let's say now you draw this trend line. During this trend line, you can actually, it is just for more confluence. I trust you. I promise you don't want to use just trend line alone to look for confluences here. So you can just do this thing, like from the recent high of where the price got to before it's corrected, and before it's corrected, that's where you draw your zone or level from. Now you see how this zone, this one is too thick, just make it very static zone. So from this is the recent high, and now you see we just extended it to the left and to the right hand side here. So which means this is a resistance before. This particular place here is a resistance before. Now the market broke above that resistance. Let me make this thing tick. Let me make it tick. Let me make it tick. So the market broke above this resistance here now, which is now it's not testing it from the top, which is before this place is a resistance. You call this place a resistance. Like I said, if it is testing it or if it is touching it from below, it is called a resistance. But if it is testing it from above, it is called a support. Now this is what we call support, and resistance becomes support. Resistance becomes support. It is also a confluence for your setup. Now we have 3 confluences here to take a buy setup here. Now, which is, number one is the price is on an uptrend, the price is trending upward. Number 2, the price has broken previous resistance and now retesting from above, which is now serving as support. Now we also have trend line. We also have a valid trend line that is coming from down below that level, so which makes this trade a very logical one, a very reasonable one, or anything you want to call it, for us to take. So whenever one thing you must know is, whenever price comes to the body of that trend line, you want to be looking to buy. The only time you want to stop buying is only when price invalidates that trend line, or maybe brutalize, or I don't know what else to call it, brutalize that trend line, like something like this breaks that trend line, and now the trend is testing from below, like behind that trend line. This thing is called a change, like it has broken, let's say it is a change in sentiment. Yeah, the market was trending upward before, but now it is a sign of reversal, that the price wants to start selling. So let's just quickly go to the chart. Let me show you how we can use it on our chart. So let me see. I'll just use two examples for the chart. So let's say, okay, I told you, for a trend line to be valid, it must have like at least two touches. So let's say this, draw this. So this is our first touch here. So this is our first touch here on this trend line. This is our second touch on this trend line. What should we be anticipating? Whenever the price comes back to the body of that trend line, you want to be looking forward to buy. And if it is testing it from against the trend line, you want to be looking forward to sell. But this one is bouncing on the trend line, so you want to be looking forward to buy. So just like that, you come here, your stop loss just slightly below this low, and target anything. You will be expecting the price to create a higher high. So, and that's how you get to catch a trade. Yeah, I'm sure you already feeling the vibe already. You can use this strategy to make millions of dollars. Use it to buy your 500 Lamborghini that you're already anticipating your head. Now let's say this is another example. Let me say let me use USD card. Let's check USD card. Let's use USD card for this example. So for USD card, let's see. Okay, so that was a buy analysis. So let's see a sell analysis, if you can see anything. Okay, I told you it must have at least two touches for it to be valid, and whenever price comes to the body of the trend line, that's only when you want to react here. So now this is the first touch. You could see this is a very valid trend line. Sorry, what happened? Why are you gay? So now, for it to be valid, it must have at least two to three touches and above here. So now this is our first touch here. As you can see. This is our second touch here, which means if we had wanted to take a sell, this would have been our best entry. Just like this, and you get to make money, Lamborghini money. And you see again, when the price came to the body of the trend line, is another opportunity to make another massive profit. So now let's go back to this particular first one. You can actually use your support. There is a existing support here. Actually, I don't know if you can see that. If you want to see it, maybe you should text me. If you want to learn how to trade professionally, this is just a basic analysis, basic like back testing here. So if you want to learn how to trade, you can hit me up on Instagram as official_olabanks here. So So there's a resistance right here which adds to our confidence. We are not just looking at basic trend line alone. We have our first touch, second touch, third touch here. We know that there's high probability that the price is going to dump from here. However, we are still not going to take the analysis just like that, the entry just like that, because we have trend line. We will definitely need more confidence here before we sell this market, which is something, of course, something like this resistance here. Now, there's a trend line passing through that place. There's the existing resistance. Now, the more they pile up, the stronger the confluence is. Yeah, so that's for that about the technical side. And we also have fundamental as well, using news to predict the move of the market. So, but for this particular video, you see, I'm using technical analysis for an example. The next thing is you want to start trading, but bro, what you don't want to do is go straight to your live account. Use a demo account, please, for God's sake. Use a demo account. So that will be it for this video. I really hope this video helped you. I hope you found knowledge. I hope you found value in this video, and if you do make sure you go to my comment section, go to the comment section and type in value, or maybe if you have a question, just type it there for me. I promise you, I'm definitely gonna reply you. And make sure you like the video, subscribe to this channel, and also share it to other people, for other people to watch. Don't be stingy. Do remember to follow me up on Instagram. This is my Instagram account actually. You see, this is official_labanks. That is me on Instagram. Do remember to also use the code here as your partner code for your Xness registration here. So that'll be it for this video. I hope you find your edge and be profitable in your trading journey.